Hello, students. Today, I would like to briefly talk about audience and the importance of audience, how audience plays a pivotal role in writing. If you want to establish as a writer, or even in the every walks of life, writing is very important, no matter what kind of background you have come from. So, the audience is always help you with your writing. Uh, Again, when we talk about audience, depending upon the in writing, depending upon the type of genre you'll be you know shape, or you will write in such a way that to address the particular audience you have in your mind. So before you write, or sometimes when you write freely and then you get back to your writing, you always have to have your audience in your mind. But if you start writing thinking about audience from the very beginning, that might create writer's block, and you might not go further. So another elements that I want to add here is the writer's block. Okay, so when you talk about the audience, I mean, when you start thinking about audience before you start writing, perhaps thinking about audience, you might not be able to move your pen freely, and you have a writer's block, and you cannot even write quite well. So what I would suggest is that you write something very freely without thinking about anything, and then when you revisit your writing, when you go back to your writing, and then you will have your audience in your mind. So keeping your audience in mind, you will better the revisit your writing. So audience, as I said, if you're writing poems, or if you're writing fictions or stories or non-fictions, or what kind of genre it is, whether it is academic genre, whether you're writing an essay or a comparison paper, what you are writing, that also affect the style of your writing as well, okay, depending upon genre. And then who is the audience of your genre? When you're writing a fiction, there is also whether you are trying to address a audience in general, or you are trying to audience of a particular the field, particular the community, and based on that you will write something, and that kind of a particular audience will definitely shape your writing as well. If you are writing for a particular community, then the choice of words, the language, the sentence structure will completely be different, unlike other kinds of writing. For example, if you are going to write a kind of an academic paper for highly intellectual, sophisticated, like the PhD students or scholars or professors, your writing would be very tough and very sophisticated, and with a lot of the technical words and jargons as well. If you are writing for engineering students, then you will also have a kind of a technical words and jargons that other people out there who do not have some knowledge of engineering would not be able to understand. Okay, so again, so for example, the essay you'll be writing for this class, you'll also have your audience in mind. Who is the audience? Perhaps the audience of could be your classmates, right, who have in an undergraduate degree. If you make it too simple, you don't want to write something in a sixth grade or fifth grade writing style, nor you would like to write like for those scholars and professors, something like that. So keep that in mind. So when you think about audience, it always helps you with your writing. And again, who you are writing for? Are you writing for the audience in general, or across the globe, or across the world? Then you have to think about people coming from different geography and cultural differences. The choice of words, the diction that we call. The way we choose word might sound okay for native speaker English audience, but that might not sound okay for people from a different culture. So those are the crucial things that you might want to think of. That is the reason why I always keep emphasizing the importance of audience. So that's why I always tell my students that audience. So please keep that in mind. But when you start thinking about audience right away, before you start writing, and if that gives you writer's block, and it prevents you from writing freely, it's better to first format it without thinking about audience, write it freely, and then when you go back and revisit your writing, perhaps have your audience in mind who you are writing for, and that way you would be able to revise your paper, your essay, or whatever you are writing. So the focus of these this video is to think about the importance of audience, and it's the role it plays in writing. Okay, thank you. If you have any questions, please let me know.